What is good, Festival Tales fam? We are back with another episode of the podcast. It's gonna be a good one today. I'm pretty excited to share our experiences. If you guys don't know who we are at Festival Tales Podcast. Bella, Babs. What we do here is we generally read anonymously submitted stories to us from festivals or events. That's one of the main things of the podcast. But we also talk all things music festivals and EDM raves and other music stuff as well. So not just EDM festivals and raves, but all of them together. Um, and then we also kind of share our own experiences as well, which is what we're going to be doing today, which I'm kind of pumped about. We were both recently at EDC Orlando. I was home for a wedding and some family stuff. Decided to shoot over for just one day for me, Saturday, but Bella was there all weekend and had a good time, and then also did home base. So without further ado, let's dive into that stuff. Because I know you had a fun time. You had a really exciting time.
I did.
I'll go
Great time.
first
Hmm.
because I only had one day, so it was super quick. Um, they so leading up, let me backtrack a little here because it is just some context for the story. Leading up to the festival, I knew I was going home that weekend for a wedding, and I was like, I should shoot over for one day. A ton of my friends back home are gonna be there. It'll be a great way to see a ton of people at once that I might not be able to all see all at the same like at back home. Like I can't always get them all together. So I was like, it'll be perfect. So I like text my core group of friends that I know that usually go and enjoy the festivals, and I'm like, let's go to EDC Orlando. I texted them like a month, like in October. I was like, let's go, and then confirmed it like toward like October 10th, like confirmed it, like, yeah, we're going. We bought our tickets, we're going. I'm like, cool. I didn't buy any tickets. So I get like I'm focusing on work here, and I'm focusing on the wedding, getting prepped for all that. Yada yada yada. I'm in the wedding, so it's busy couple days. Not even thinking about a ticket. And Saturday morning, I wake up, I drive over, I meet them at the hotel. I'm in the elevator going up the hotel, and he's like, "Oh, you got your ticket, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm about to buy it upstairs." He like my buddy just looks at me and he goes, "Jacob, you're joking, right?" And I go, "No, no, I'm gonna buy it. I haven't bought it yet." And he goes, "It's sold out. What are you doing?" And I'm like, ah, "Shit, this is not good."
Hmm.
So I scourge around on the internet for some tickets. Uh, Luckily, one of my friends, ended up having an extra one, so it kind of all worked out nice and safe. But don't do what I do. Plan ahead of time, especially for bigger festivals. I should have known better too, being from Florida and what that festival kind of draws, and it really draws a lot of the college kids from all over. You get Miami, you get people from Tallahassee where I went, you get people from Jacksonville, you get people from Tampa. It's literally in the middle of the state, and it just everyone flocks there for that weekend that wants to go. So dumb on me, but luckily things worked out okay. Um, and then so day two, I wasn't sure how I would feel about the lineup. There I'm a little picky at times. Bass wise, there were some artists where I was like, they're not my favorites, but I'll go. And then there was a lot of people that I was like, house DJs, where I was like, I haven't seen them yet. I'm fucking kind of pumped. I might just go house the whole day. And super excited. I got to see Eric Prides first at Sunset. That was the first set I saw. Had never seen him before. He's been on my list to go see for a while.
He's great.
Great,
Really great.
beautiful set at Sunset.
Yeah.
The sunset sets there can sometimes be hit or miss with the sky, and it was a great day. We'll say beautiful
Hmm.
sky, beautiful sunset, great vibes. Then we stayed for Matroda, and I've seen Matroda a few times, but I was like, I am definitely seeing him again. I don't know what. I don't know. He does something for me. I like it. I like his music. Obviously he's up and coming and still getting bigger and bigger. But a killer set. I mean, the whole place was vibing and rocking. Did get a little crowded when he came on, and a lot of people started like pushing past the usual kind of BS that newer ravers or people that are going to this festival because it's their one festival a year going, and they don't really know the etiquette and stuff. But did get a little crowded. We ended up leaving early because of that. It was just kind of like, ugh, couldn't do it. And then what I again thought I would be at the doing house stuff the rest of the night, ended up at the base stage and was at the base stage the rest of the night. Um, Notable mentions in my book: Sullivan King. I'm normally I I, I don't hate his music or anything like that, but I was like a big fan of him on his come up because I saw him at like really small venues when he was really coming up. and so I've seen him
Yeah,
from
same.
like then. And so the last couple years, I just haven't been as into him because I'm like, oh, I've seen a lot of them, and I didn't feel like there was anything that he was doing that was super special or unique. I always love his intros. He does a great job with his intros. I will say, make me laugh, great thing. Um,
Yes. Very
but I
creative.
will absolutely say his Lost Land set was really good, and his EDC Orlando set I was also very, very impressed with.
Yeah.
It very much reminded me in an odd way of like, not that Excision's evolved his sound like super much, but like it just kind of like took me back, I feel like, to like Excision 2019-ish era for some reason, this set. And I like that bro step, that just straight solid bro step drum and kick type thing. Nothing crazy to it. I like it. And again, the set was, I will say, I was very impressed. Thought it was very good. And then Ganja White Knight. I We've talked about this before. I was skeptical of Ganja White Knight only because I've had sets of theirs where I am like blown away, and then I've had sets of theirs where I'm like, I just couldn't get into it. Like it's very weird in a way,
Hmm.
and I don't know if everyone feels that way. Just maybe my personal thing. But again, there's sets of theirs where I am like, that was one of the greatest sets of the whole weekend. So I was like, I'm gonna stay for 30 minutes, and if not, I'm going to Clooney.
Hmm.
And I stayed the whole set. I was very impressed. Again, great job. Again, they had a lot of new stuff they brought out, but the way they like formatted it, I think, was different than Lost Lands or something like that. But it was very good overall, really good. Um, Festival was crowded. Again, only ran into really problems at main stage. Didn't have any crowd problems at all, which is good because that's that festival again with like what the audience that is like kind of drawn to it can really bring some just rude people in a sense, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I've gone to it for so long that like I kind of just am like mentally I'm like it's probably gonna happen. You might run into somebody, but never didn't really have much issues. It was crowded to get between stages, no doubt about it. You really had to time your stuff if you were like trying to go between sets super quick. I thought stage designs were fucking unreal, honestly. I
Oh, yeah,
thought
because you didn't go to Vegas, did you?
I didn't get to go to Vegas, and that is
Yeah.
something I love that they do with Kinetic Field is like they premiere it at Vegas and then they bring it around. So I saw like the streams from Vegas, and me personally, I love the cathedral style stages that EDC comes up with and their designs. Like one of my all time favorites is 2017 with the two people holding the heart up above
Yeah.
main stage. I mean, I think that's amazing. So I love the cathedral style way more than I do like the Mother Earth or the Owl style festival look. So when I saw that in 2017, I will say there was a part of me that was like, dang, I have to go to EDC Orlando just to see this stage because I love the way they do those cathedrals. I think there's something to it of like, I don't know if it's like growing up going to church and it makes you feel like with like melodic music and house
Hmm.
and melodic house, like you get this kind of like, or progressive house, I mean, you get this kind of like angelic, like feeling with the music and the
Yeah.
aura. I don't know what it is. But personally, for me, I fucking love those
It's like
stages. I think they're
EDC
sick.
main stage sound. That's the
Yeah.
kind of house that I'm thinking is
Yes. 100%.
like
Yeah.
Tiesto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Cascade.
Cascade, like that big.
And something I didn't notice, or something I picked up on that my friends didn't notice was, um, so they have like the main kinetic field, they have like the main pillar in the middle, and then the cathedral things kind of go off in the distance. And one of the visuals was they had two visuals that were very cool. One that made it look like the a mirror where like when you're in a mirror, two-way mirror, and
Yeah.
you look and it looks like it goes on forever. They had one of those where it was like looked like an echo chamber of like a cathedral hall just straight through, like almost
Hmm.
like Shrek in Shrek when they're in the in the castle with the dragon and it goes on for a while. There's pillars everywhere, like
Yeah.
that look. And then they also, which I thought was super unique, and it almost seems like they're closing out an era, which I'm curious to see what they'll do now for the next EDC. But they had each pillar in each LED screen in the pillar had a stage from years past. And so I'm wondering, I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is like them closing out this chapter into the next thing. So we'll see. I'm intrigued. But other than that, what is it? Neon Garden. They did a really cool job with Neon Garden this year. I got to go walk past it. I like the spot that it's in now too. I know they moved it there last year or the year before, but it
Was
looks
that where
really
the
good.
Space Miami takeover was? Was that Neon Garden?
Mm,
Or was that Stereo Bloom?
You know what? I don't
No, it
know.
was Neon Garden.
I don't know, but I actually misspoke. I liked the stage design for Stereo Bloom. I did still like what they did for Neon Garden. It's way cooler that they used to do a tent. People will remember if they've gone before. And they last year they had the warehouse style like shipping container vibe. And the year before that they did too, but they redid it this year, way nicer, way more open.
Yeah, it
But
was way
in
better this
years
year.
past, they used to do this giant like circus tent, and
Oh
it
no.
was. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm a big fan of tents, so I liked it, but it was just very crowded in comparison to like the openness of now what it is now. So I
Yeah.
get why it's not doable, but the tents are cool. Now that's a whole nother tangent. But and then finally home base. We did not make it to home base. We did have plans to go. We purposely put our hotel right across the street from it so we could go, and we're like on the way back. And I'm driving everybody because I said I would be DD, and they're like kind of talking about like, oh, let's get home, back to the room, maybe get some food, and then we'll go over. And I'm like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, I know these fuckers are gonna get food. They're not gonna want to go. But I'm also like on board with that. Like, so I'm not like talking. I'm like, no, we need to go right away. Sure as hell, we get up to the room, we like order pizza. It takes, you know, 40 minutes to get there or whatever, and then by the time we finish eating, everyone's like, yeah, we're not going, and I'm like, we're staying. And I was honestly just so happy to just sleep. So I'm sad I missed home base because it did look cool that it's new location, which you're gonna have to give us the tea on. But I was very content with sleeping and not going to the afters this time around.
Yeah. Sometimes you just like I don't know when to call it. So I get that. I did not know when to call it this weekend. Um so I went and originally I was going to work and then I wasn't. That's neither here nor there. But anyways, I went to EDC. I wanted to go to EDC Orlando because I had a lot of friends going and I was like, "Oh, like I can maybe pick up a gig." So,
We on
um
that gig work life.
yeah, so I went and ended up kind of just not working.
Enjoy it
Which
while you can.
no, it was just kind of like a, you know, we we have enough media people, so you can just go chill.
Vibe
You
out.
could just vibe.
Yeah.
So, um, I took that and I wilded out a little bit. Ain't gonna lie. Like I think it was like Lost Lands. I like worked Friday and Sunday, and like I usually have something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing crazy, but usually have something going on. When I found out that I didn't have anything going on this weekend, really, um, it was game on. And I needed this. I really needed this because I've been dealing with some personal stuff and hadn't gone to a festival in a month and a half, which is an eternity for me. And so I was just like, I'm just gonna party. So I stayed up until 8 a.m. every day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, every day. Um, I passed out 4 times in the airport on the way home,
Just
which
from exhaustion.
just from exhaustion.
Tired.
Like I was just done.
Beat.
Shockingly, did not get sick. Everyone got sick but me.
I was gonna bring that up because
No one got sick.
I
I don't
also
know
didn't
how.
get sick.
I got maybe 9 hours of sleep the entire weekend.
Yeah, that's
maybe.
crazy. And there was like
and I didn't get sick.
ton of people that came home and like got the flu and like
Yeah.
I mean obviously the Wook flu, but like but I mean the legit flu. Like
No, people got the flu.
people in my group that I was with on Saturday. So it must have some dirty hoe must have came, not a hoe,
Some dirty hoe.
some dirty. Actually, I'm gonna stick with it. Yeah, some dirty hoe, male or female dirty hoe, came with the flu on Sunday because my group I was with them on Saturday. I'm fine. They got home Monday. They were dead, like dead.
Yeah. No, I don't really know how I didn't get sick. It's like it kind of blows my mind because everyone got sick. Like the people I was with got sick too.
Yeah,
Some of them.
crazy.
But anyways, yes, I went all 3 days. I also went to home base. If you guys don't know how that works, because it's very confusing. Last year I flew in for EDC Orlando, And on the plane ride down, I found out that home base was the same weekend and frantically tried to get guest listed before I landed and succeeded, which I don't know how. But but I didn't know that they were the same weekend because I saw people promoting home base, right? Because specifically I saw the festival babes who are the greatest ladies in this industry. If you do not know them, shout out to them. Like, they are so much fun. They're beautiful and they work hard.
You're beautiful.
No,
It's true.
I love everyone that works in the festival babes team.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, I'm obsessed with them. Like,
Yeah.
I am. But they and they run really good campaigns for home base.
Yes, they do.
Because they work very closely with that team. So they were promoting home base, and I was like, oh, home base is coming up. Home base is coming up. And then I didn't know that it was the same weekend as EDC Orlando. I'm not going to speak on how each festival feels about that because I don't really know, but I can imagine I don't know.
Oh, I know some stuff.
I'm sure you
maybe
do.
Patreon.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about
Patreon
that.
in the near future.
But maybe sucks for them. Great for us. Because what happens is unlike EDC Vegas, EDC Orlando is like during the day. So it opens anywhere from like the gates open anywhere from noon to 2.
Yep.
And then it ends
midnight hard
it
cut.
ends hard cut midnight, right? And then what do you do for the afters? Like, they have afters at like the Vanguard and all these venues local in Orlando, but
Which odd because I didn't really see any advertisements or promotions for that this year. I'm sure they
had
did.
some. I think
but-
they might have just sold out
Yeah.
of a lot of it because but home base it goes until I think 6 or 7 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
It goes like all night. So
Starts at 11 p.m., goes till 6 or 7
yeah.
a.m.
So even if you're not staying at home base,
And
you can get a
then-
ticket to home base and you can go there and party at a hotel until the sun rises, at which point you sleep because you have to be back at EDC.
And then they do have
at noon.
pool parties at like
They do have pool parties.
12.
Yeah, and the people that go to the pool parties go to EDC Orlando and then stay up through the afters. Like,
I don't know how they do it.
I try to do it every year and I can't. I just can't do it. But
The best thing was when
it's a fun weekend.
it is a fun
It
weekend.
does not stop.
We stayed, and I will say it's super convenient. I 100% am on board with it. I support it. We stayed for Forbidden Kingdom this past year. They did their first ever home base during that as well. They like expanded to do it an extra time in the year, and I will say
That
it
was
was
wild.
super convenient.
Yeah.
That was even almost better, and here's why. It was because EDC Orlando goes 3 days, and FK only went 2. So you had Sunday to just hang out at home base and do the pool and the indoor stages and just vibe at the resort, which you don't necessarily get at EDC Orlando because you go those 3 days.
Yeah.
But it was super nice and convenient to have have a nice hotel room, music within walking distance, and then when you buy the ticket for the resort, your shuttle pass is included. So you get the shuttle to and from the venue, which was, again, super convenient because you're like,
yes,
oh, I don't have to worry about
really convenient because you don't have to worry about Ubers, parking, anything
of that. And then if you,
it's very quick too. I've taken the shuttle, I think, once.
yeah, I've heard a little bit about the lines specifically with EDC Orlando a bit more because it is more crowded than Forbidden Kingdom. But I mean, at Forbidden Kingdom, we left just like a bit early. And we got right on, and we were back at the hotel within 20 minutes of leaving. Like, it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
No, that's I think my only, and I don't know if my friends were bugging about this because I don't really remember how this worked last year, but getting out of EDC Orlando, my friends that I was with, they were bugging about leaving, so we left like 30 minutes early every night.
Good call.
Oh, really?
Let me be real with you. Great call.
That's a good call.
Unless you know where to
I didn't know anything else. Like, we left and I didn't know.
It's a madhouse. Unless you know, like, especially, were you guys Ubering or driving?
We parked. Yeah.
So you had you had a DD with driving. Yeah. So it depends. It's a couple things. To be really honest, because I went the first time in 2017. Holy crap. So this is my 7th year going. Okay. So I know a thing or two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it depends, really depends where you park because it is a madhouse. They've done a little bit. It's a little different now too because of like now they only let people out the one side and they only let like that one entrance. But um basically everyone's going out the one way and they're walking either around to go to their car or stuff and the highway is on the one side. So there's like it gets really bad on that one side because there's only like one exit onto the highway.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a tolled highway, so not everyone's going that way. So then there's
Oh
people that are
no.
going far to get to the other highways to that are not tolled. It can get really, really hectic right away. Now, I wish I had a map and we could put a map up because I have parked at the same area for the last 3 to 4 years, and I'm out. I can leave with everybody, like with the crowd, right at it ends at 12, and I can still get out of there in 15 minutes. And I just know it's because of this one street where like I can just shoot out and be gone. Versus like the other stuff, you're just stuck. You're not only stuck in traffic, you're also stuck with
Yeah.
100,000 people walking around. And then on the one side, I have Ubered in the past too, and it is just an absolute nightmare with ride pickup. Yes, they have a select location. It gets super expensive. Again, also super busy. And then you're waiting in traffic in your Uber, which is never really fun. And then the other option
Mm-hmm.
is you walk. And I've done that one year where we walked like 30, 40 minutes toward downtown, got an Uber and it took us an hour and a half, 2 hours to get back to the hotel essentially because of walking, waiting, getting in the Uber, which is another 30-minute drive to home base. So it's like, all around good call leaving early. I mean, I don't, especially depending on where you park. I think that's a great call. Obviously, it's not the thing everyone wants to do, but like, yeah, if you're trying to get to home base and get a good spot for that and get in that before that gets crazy too, because they've had problems with that in the past, like, yeah, get out early if you can.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed much easier to get into home base this year. Like, I think the new hotel is great. I think I will always kind of love the old hotel just because that's like where it started for me. That's like my first home base, so I might be biased, but I definitely think I really like the new hotel.
The
I
new
must say.
hotel, I think, from the looks of it, looked way better.
It's really good.
Was the logistics, because one of the main things that they had a problem with at the old hotel was like there was only one hallway that you could enter into the inside part of the venue and it would get just way too crowded and they were always checking bags and stuff too, so then the line would get all backed up and like then
Yeah.
it was just a
Security seemed to move much faster this year. They did check thoroughly, but it seemed to move much faster. I don't know if they had more security guards or something.
yeah.
They did have the issue with the hallway again.
I mean that might
Um,
just be a resort thing, but like I
but
yeah.
there were also like they had the issue with the hallway, but it wasn't as bad because there were other routes you could take. They were just like longer. I don't know how to explain it, but like you could cut through like rooms and whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't have like you weren't confined to that one hallway. However, 95% of people took that one hallway. So there was like a little bit of there was some traffic in one area specifically that was kind of like an intersection between three different hallways, which makes sense. And it was only bad on Sunday. Like the
Hmm.
first couple days, it wasn't horrible, but I think it was Saturday and Sunday, but Friday it wasn't bad.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, I know Saturdays usually they're like great, they're busy day where things get really hectic and all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, yeah, good. You know that hotel that they originally did it at. The reason they moved is because the Wyndham is like knocking it down to make a newer one,
Yeah,
like destroying it. Sad.
I know.
Sad.
It's a historical monument among the
Next to
Wooks.
the
They're knocking it down.
next to the biggest McDonald's in America.
Really?
That big like 3-story one there.
Ain't no way.
Swear to God.
How did I not know this?
Swear to God. Swear to God.
That's a tragedy. It's tragic.
Can't take
Truly.
that from us. They can't take McDonald's from us.
They can't do that. But
Anything else from EDC Orlando from your experience? Any other things you would like to add? I know I talked to everyone's ear off for like 12, 15 minutes at the beginning, but
EDC Orlando. Ooh. Um
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I did somehow end up on the sky deck on Friday.
Wait, you were sleeping on
Again,
this story this whole time?
I end up on the sky deck. I don't know how, but I end up on this is like a pattern.
You can't hold back on these cool stories from us. Tell us how you
Yeah.
do it. Tell us how you got on the
Well,
sky deck.
and in Vegas, I somehow ended up at Drew Carey's table on the sky deck, and it was his birthday.
Hey.
So they brought out
Did you sing happy birthday?
yeah, we did. It was weird. I loved it. All of his friends were really nice. They were very, very nice people. But it was like weird. I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah. Well, I'm
But
saying happy birthday to Drew.
I like we had like a mutual friend there. I didn't just like walk into Drew Carey's birthday party. I was invited to come to Drew Carey's table by someone.
We don't believe it.
And then I was like, no, it's like actually
You know.
no, it's a thing. Like someone was like, oh yeah, come to Drew Carey's table. And we were like the Drew Carey? And then they're like, yeah, it's his birthday. Come. And I was like, okay. So we went.
Riveting.
Yeah. And then this year, I was with my friend and he was like, let's go to the sky deck. And I was like, okay. And I went to the sky deck and again, like you run into weird people on the sky deck.
Who'd you run into?
It's it's not like who you run into, it's like the kinds of people.
Okay.
They're just like a lot of them are OG ravers. Some of them are like very rich guys with, girls. Like there was one girl that came up to me and she was like, I've never been to a music festival before. I just met this guy a couple weeks ago and now I'm here with him. And I was like,
Ooh.
she was really nice, but I was like, whoa, like did not expect that to come out of your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like
Festival experience is now like there's no beating this.
yeah,
You're going downhill from there. You've peaked.
Yeah, like this girl was like at the peak of her life, right? Like in that moment, and I was like, she was very, very, very nice, very, very nice, very, very kind, very, very pretty. But then like there were like three more of her, and I was like, whoa, like I don't know, you just run into some characters. I think is the best way to describe it.
That's like such a typical rich guy thing too. You're like, there were more of them.
There were so many of them.
He's like, I'm just gonna invite 5.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a sky deck. You know what I mean? Like,
they're not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's
if
like
a rich lady.
It's like
came
a table
to
at
me,
a club. You know what I mean?
If a rich lady came to me and was like, I want you to come to the sky deck with me, I'm not gonna say no.
No, you're not gonna say no. If like
yeah, I'm not judging. By the way, that was just funny. How you like.
I mean, no, she was like gorgeous.
Yeah.
But she was also like, wow, what's going on? And I'm like, welcome.
She was up there. Woo! She was a woo girl.
No, she was like, she was very, very kind. But
if you're out there, we would love to.
No, I like want to know where she's at.
I want to interview
she
you.
She was wearing all pink and she was blonde and she was very pretty. I think she had heels on, which I was like, rookie mistake, but it's fine.
Nah, if you're in the sky deck, you ain't gotta move.
Yeah, they have couches there.
Yeah.
And pillows.
Do you think, a real question, do you think they went down to GA?
No.
Can't picture it. Can't picture it at all.
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
Do you think they even went to VIP? They're like,
No.
No.
No, not at all.
But
that was fun. Did that on Friday. And then what did I do Saturday?
No.
I don't know what I did Saturday.
Solomon King.
Solomon King.
Cameraland.
Oh my god.
Your story.
So Sullivan King is really good at what he does. I will say that. He's also like he's just very good at what he does. He knows what he's doing. And because he knows what he's doing, when he performs, he has a lot of media people.
Yeah.
He's got like 2 guys with iPhones. He's got a videographer, photographer, I assume someone at front of house as well. Like he's got a team with him, right?
Yeah.
Because he really knows how to put together sets. Like he knows obviously knows how to produce great music. He knows how to put together sets, create viral moments. So there's a lot of media on him. He then brought out Ray Volpe for a song, and Ray Volpe also had media. So there was one point during this set where I'm not even kidding. There were like 7 people filming these guys. And I was crying because I was like, it's the content Avengers.
It's too much content.
It's like,
there's too much.
It's like they were all getting the same video too. It was great. But it was so good. It was so funny. But it's what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The more the merrier. But like, I just thought it was really funny that there was like a mob of media people.
Yeah. From a front of house perspective, it's like when the start of like the headliner set goes and everyone's phone is out. Like you're in the back and you just see thousands of phone screens up. Except you're back of house, so it's like it's like compartmentalized, and then there's 8 cameras and behind his head. Hello, would you like to say something?
The boy is here. I don't even think you can see him on the screen.
He blends in with my
so
jacket.
Dark. Come here.
You can see his little tuxedo right here.
Yeah. He wants something.
But anything other stories? Anything other fascinating to happen?
Oh, the content Avengers. I don't know. I'm trying to think what. Oh, I went to Disney World on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. We do have to talk about this.
I went to bed at 9 a.m. Sunday morning. I stayed up all night. Because I don't like. There's no excuse. What was I doing?
Not?
What was I doing at 9 a.m.?
Why not?
I was just vibing. Then I fell asleep, and then I wake up to my beautiful friend Ro.
Shout out Ro.
She's frantically texting me. Remember how? Because I had this brilliant idea on Friday. I was like, how funny would it be if we just like went hard all weekend and then on Sunday morning before the festival in shambles, we just go to Disney World. And she's like, let's do it. So we made a reservation on Friday afternoon before we went to the festival. And then Sunday morning, I go to bed at 9. I wake up at 11. That's
solid 2.
Yeah. And I'm getting text from Ro. I'm on my way to pick you up to go to Disney World. And I want to punch a hole in the wall because I did this to myself and I have to go. And I want to go to Disney World, but in that moment, going to Disney World seemed like the worst idea in the world, but I had to do it for the plot. So I went to Disney World for 4 hours. Fighting for my life the entire time. Just a shell of a human being. I sent you a video. I was like,
it was very funny.
I want to die right now.
I told you should have posted it.
I looked horrible in it, so no. And then then I went back and I got changed and I went to EDC Orlando and then I went to Homebass and then from Homebass I went to the airport. What is he doing?
He just clawed my thigh, and that was such a sharp pain out of nowhere.
Why are you?
No,
why attack?
I was playing with him. It's not.
Oh, so you
not
instigated
intentional. It was not intentional, but that. Oh my God, was that a shock? I was not ready for that.
You know how I'm covered in cat scratches?
Because you fight every morning.
Yeah, we fight.
We fight every morning. Every morning I wake up and I hear no. Yeah.
I also instigate it though. I think it's funny.
You pawns.
Yeah. What's up, Kobe?
But yeah, nothing like going to an amusement park, especially Disney, on 2 hours of sleep and really 3 days of going hard. So applaud it a lot. I think you should still post that video because it's really funny. But
it was a time.
It was a time.
I'm really happy I went to Disney World. Not gonna lie. I do want to go to Disney World like a little bit longer and like dedicate a day to Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really happy I went to Disney World.
Nice. We'll end on a magical note of Disney World then. Rock on. Thanks y'all for tuning in. If you made it this far to the podcast, please like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.